Hey everybody, it's Matt Stevens, and this is your Matt Minute in Politics. I know I've been gone a long time, but I am back now, and I'm going to be coming to you all with a lot more videos. I promise that, because we got some very, very important things that I want to discuss, but those will be in separate videos. Today's video is about the news of the day, which is the debate on Tuesday, September 29th. If you have not seen that, oh my God. Dumpster fire, shit show, trash can, hot mess, ridiculousness. That's kind of the best way to describe it. That's what all of the pundits and all of the media outlets and all of your little news alerts on your phone are talking about, and rightfully so. I understand that. But I thought about this. I slept on it last night after I watched the debate live. And I thought that I wanted to bring you all a little bit different of a perspective. I'm not saying it's a completely unique perspective, but it's just one that cuts a little bit deeper than just who cut off who during the debate and how Donald Trump ran over Joe Biden, or he totally annihilated Chris Wallace, who was the moderator of the debate. We know that. If you saw any clips of the debate, you know that. But here's where I really want to take you all today in as little time as I can, okay? The debate performance that we saw from Donald Trump last night with Joe Biden is a direct result. What we saw as Americans and what the world saw was a man who is so indebted to other people and other entities that he is now doing whatever he can to keep power. Hear me when I say that. We watched live a man who has, to the tune of approximately $421 million of debt hanging over his head that he has personally guaranteed. We watched that man fight to save the biggest asset that he knows, which is the federal government and the presidency of the United States of America. Now, you might ask, why do I call it an asset? And break this down really quick for you, okay? Donald Trump holding the presidency of the United States is the most valuable asset that he's probably ever held in his life. Why? Because he can control foreign policy. He can control military, healthcare spending, clean water, clean air, departments of the federal government, how we staff the federal government, what military conflicts we involve ourselves in as a nation, all of that. He has control of that as Commander-in-Chief of the United States Armed Forces, as well as the sitting chief executive of the United States of America. So if you did not read the bombshell and very long New York Times story on Sunday, please take a read at that. It was extremely thorough, extremely in-depth, but it was not the first time where we learned or had suspected, or it was alleged, that the president is deeply in debt to different various entities and people and places and countries and things of that nature. That was not our first time learning of it, but I think it was our first time learning of it at this level of detail. If you take any read at that article, you will learn just how in debt the president is, allegedly, to different organizations and countries, etc. Now, I say all that to say is that last night's debate performance, because we want to link that to the story, we want to link that to his debts. The reason he acted the way that he did in that debate, shutting down all conversation about the coronavirus, trying to run over the moderator, running over Joe Biden. The reason he did that is because he's got to stay in power, because that power helps influence decisions that this country makes, or decisions that he makes about the debts that he owes. When he owes other countries money, but he can also control the foreign policy that the United States has with that country, that is a leveraging, an aspect that he's able to leverage of the government. Also, if we are involved in conflicts, and we're involved in conflicts in countries, or involved in proxy conflicts with countries, say with Russia in Syria. If we pull our troops out of Syria, what monetary value does that have for him? So you got to start asking yourself questions like that. If he owes money to people, and I'm making this up, but let's say he owes money to someone in the meat industry. Well, instead of paying them the money, the cash money that he owes them, how about making policy changes that help benefit the meat industry, the food industry as a whole. The same can be said for healthcare, for his personal friends. I know we've seen a lot of him getting his friends out of doing federal time. He did that with Roger Stone and a couple of others. So you got to think about it like that. I'm not going to go all into depth about names and monetary amounts. Read the New York Times article, do a little bit of research yourself. But I just wanted to give you a different perspective about why we saw the debate performance that we saw last night. Now, I'm not saying that that debate performance was in any way justified. It was absolutely unprofessional. It was absolutely out of order. And it reeked of somebody who is desperate to win at all costs. The problem is that winning for him means losing for us, because winning for him means enriching his friends. It means more tax loopholes. It means only having to pay $750 in taxes for both 2016 and 2017 separately. Things like that. That's what winning for him looks like, but it looks like losing for us. So when we think about these debate performances, because we're going to see this again, I trust and believe we are going to see this type of debate performance again. And we're going to see it because this is a man who's $421 million in debt, allegedly, rests and depends on him winning the presidency of the United States. Those debts, according to the New York Times, are due in the next 2 to 4 years. Well, guess how long another presidential term is? 4 years, okay? So he can influence and peddle influence, and he can use his personal assets and try to influence and try to, in some way, change the shape and the scope of his debts and do favors for people and use the federal government to that end, because he may not have the money to pay these people back. There's also the issue of the IRS audit that he claims he's under. He says he's under, and not going into detail about those figures. But hey, if the IRS rules against him, that's at least $100 million that he would have to pay back in interest and fees and penalties and all that, because he had a $72 million tax refund. So I say all that to say is, when we're thinking about the anger, when we're thinking about what it is that he did or he said, or the moments or the sound bites last night, those are fine and cool, whatever. If you want to be angry about that, I understand. I wanted to personally tell him to shut the fuck up myself. And I posted that on Twitter. I posted that on my Facebook as well. But when I thought about it, I slept on it and I looked a little deeper. You got to go deeper, my beloveds. You got to go deeper. When you go deeper, we see that we are looking at someone who has to hold on to the biggest asset that he has, and that is the presidency. All of these things, when we go back to the Mueller report and the Russian cheating in the 2016 election, all of this is starting to make sense now, not just because of this New York Times story, but just because when you think about his presidency as a whole, he has had to hold on to power in order to be able to influence the people that he owes favors to. So this is just something that I want you to think about. We're going to talk about this a little bit more, especially as we break down the coming debate performances throughout the rest of October, especially, well, the debate performances between Biden and Trump specifically. But as we break those down, you'll probably be able to see the thread a little bit more. But I just wanted to leave you with that. I don't want this video to be too long, but what I do want you to do is do me this favor. Since I'm back, I know that you've been here, and I hope you've been waiting on me, but I've been waiting to hear from you. And I want to hear what you thought about the debate. Yes, it was a shit show. We know all that. I get that. But does what I'm saying make sense? Does it not? If you don't agree with me, let me know. Please subscribe to this channel. First of all, that's the best way. Definitely get in the comments. I read the comments. I will respond. Also, if you are on Instagram or Twitter, make this really easy. It's in the bottom left-hand corner of the video. Follow me at Mr. Prune Juice, at MR Prune Juice, all one word. I really appreciate and love you guys for even watching me, considering my point of view. I definitely want to hear yours, consider yours. So with that said, I'm out of here until, I don't know when. It'll be very soon, though, because we got a lot of stuff to catch up on. But love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Stay safe out there.